As the years go by and games continue to increase in scale, it's becoming borderline impossible for people to 100% everything they start. Just when you complete one open world title with hours worth of side quests and an annoying amount of collectibles to gather, along comes another. Cyberpunk is nearly here, and soon enough we'll be playing on a brand new set of consoles with a brand new set of games. More hours in the day, please. This desire to play more games is further affected by the fact that, eventually, you're bound to stumble across a title that is ridiculously difficult to 100% finish. Whether it's a time-consuming multiplayer grind or a highly punishing single-player slog, if you manage to 100% any of these games, then we salute your superior dedication and skill. But the vast majority of people likely gave up on finishing them in order to preserve their sanity. And honestly, we don't blame them. I am Kirsten from WhatCulture Gaming, and these are 10 video games that you'll never 100%. Number 10, WOLFENSTEIN 2, The New Colossus. Machine Games' immensely enjoyable follow-up to 2014's WOLFENSTEIN The New Order represents one of the sharpest inclines in difficulty between an original and a sequel that we've seen in recent years. Even a gamer with average FPS skills will be able to complete The New Order without too much trouble, but The New Colossus ramped things up to a ridiculous degree by including a permadeath mode that needed to be beaten in order to 100% the game. This is why you'll never 100% it. The Mine Iben difficulty, which is also attached to a trophy/achievement of the same name, is the hardest one in the game, with highly aggressive and accurate enemy AI and a minimal amount of player health. In addition, you only have a single life, no checkpoints, no save feature, and if you die, you have to restart the entire game from scratch, and you'll need to flawlessly refine every single one of your decisions and movements. Even if you have a godly amount of patience, then by all means, give this one a go. But getting booted back to square one every single time you make a mistake is annoying as hell. And for most gamers, the frustration simply won't be worth the reward. Number 9, Grand Theft Auto 5. Whether it's a huge single-player campaign with 69 main missions, collectibles like the spaceship parts and stunt jumps, a plethora of side activities including golf and hunting and races, there's so much meat to this game that it can start to feel overwhelming at times. And this is why you'll never 100% it. Fully completing the game requires such an absurd amount of time investment that most just won't even bother. Even focusing on single-player tasks will only cost you well over 100 hours, and there's still the skill required to achieve gold medals in all missions, which can prove highly frustrating if you attempt them all. Then you have to factor in the gargantuan world of GTA Online, which is basically another game in its own right. And we haven't even mentioned heists, which will add dozens and dozens of hours onto your 100% workload. In addition, players on last-gen consoles can't even get every trophy/achievement due to one of them, Run Like the Wind, now being unobtainable. Smashing! Number 8, WIPEOUT HD. Racing games are generally quite tricky to 100%. On that note, say hello to WIPEOUT HD! First released in 2008 on the PS3, it was later included as the part of the Omega Collection on PS4, and to 100% either version, you'll need to match or beat Zico's lap time on Analpha Pass, which, to be frank, is a total pain in the arse. This is why you'll never 100% it. The Beat Zico trophy is famously one of the hardest trophies to earn in any PS3 game. The 30.82 second lap time that you need to achieve is a clear enough objective, sure, but it requires absolutely flawless inputs from the player. You have to hit the correct speed pads, barrel roll at just the right moments, turn corners at perfect angles, and be timely with your boosts. You'll have to spend days, weeks, and possibly even months practicing the lap. To 100% WIPEOUT HD, you'll have to earn a gold medal in all 87 events, on Elite difficulty. Here, your AI opponents are basically on autopilot in terms of how perfectly they can race each track. Good luck beating them without pulling your hair out. Number 7, Super Meat Boy. On the surface, Super Meat Boy looks like a simple slide-scrolling platformer. You run, you jump, you dodge obstacles. It looks fun and fluid, perhaps a little tricky, sure, but nothing too hard with a bit of trial and error. If that's your impression of Super Meat Boy, then you're bang on the money, but you're underestimating how difficult the 100% is, because in order to get there, you have to complete each and every world without dying once. So this is why you'll never 100% it. Super Meat Boy is often cited as one of the hardest titles to complete among trophy/achievement hunters. For reference, the game, as of reading this script, has 205,152 owners on PSN profiles, and out of those, only 408 have 100%ed the trophies. You have to time every single jump to perfection, memorize every stage without fault, and seamlessly chain together movements in order to avoid deadly chainsaws and other pointy death traps. The feeling of getting at the end of a stage only to make a stupid mistake and die is so anger-inducing that you'll probably want to smash your controller, and if you go for this 100%, you'll encounter that feeling countless times. Number 6, Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends is a fantastic game with its satisfying movement mechanics and utterly gorgeous presentation, putting a lot other 2D platformers to shame. If you want to 100% it though, here's a quick warning. If you suck at this game, it could take you literal years to fully complete. That is not a joke. This is why you'll never 100% it. In order to see and do everything Rayman Legends has to offer, you will have to reach the final level of awesomeness, which requires 6,000 points in total. Most of these points will come from simply beating the game and getting all the collectibles, which is easy, but the last chunk will require you to compete in online challenges. These are daily and weekly challenges available, and you're rewarded for the performances with a specific cup. Perform badly in a challenge, there's a bronze cup, worth 1 point. Perform exceptionally well, there's a diamond cup, worth 50 points. So realistically, the most points that you can hope to earn per challenge is 10, a gold cup. And this is where the time sink comes in. Let's say that you can only manage to earn 10 points per day. Well, you'll need close to 2,000 points for the final level of awesomeness. That's around 200 days of dedication and grinding. Now let's say that you can only manage to earn 1 point per day, a bronze cup. That's roughly 2,000 days of suffering. Why bother? Most people, understandably so, will give up long before that point, and in order not to go crazy, we fully recommend that you do so too. Number 5, Street Fighter V. It's no secret that fighting games are highly skill-based. You have to be precise with your button presses, requiring fast thinking and even faster reflexes. The Street Fighter series is one of the mainstays of the genre. With each new release, they don't get any easier to 100%, especially for casual players who may be considering going for full completion. This is why you won't 100% it. If you want to grab every trophy/achievement in Street Fighter V, you not only have to master the single-player portion of the game, but the online portion too. The Let's Fight Someone Strong's trophy/achievement requires you to reach Gold League in online ranked matches. Ranked matches against the sweatiest Street Fighter players in the world, and you have to win. A lot. The game's single-player offering is also an annoyance too. The Back from Hell achievement is awarded for finishing 100 fights in a row on the hardest difficulty, with a single life. While post-launch patches have made this particular challenge a little bit easier, it still has the potential to block some players from 100% completion. Anyway, this one is all about that online struggle as time goes on and more casual players quit the game, leaving only the skilled ones behind. It's only going to get harder too. Looks like Capcom wants us to lose our minds. Number 4, Fortnite. While Fortnite is most famous for its hugely popular Battle Royale mode, that's not the only component of the game. It originally launched as a co-op story-based shooter with tower defense elements, which is now known as Fortnite Save the World, and by God, it's one hell of a grind to get through. This is why you won't 100% it. Right from the off, you'll need to be prepared to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours grinding through Save the World. This isn't even an example where highly skilled players can reduce the 100% time sink by just being awesome at the game. It's literally not possible to get everything done in, say, less than 500 hours. For instance, take the Guardian Angel trophy/achievement, awarded for rescuing 10,000 survivors in successful missions. The most survivors that you can earn per mission is 15, and each mission can take around 20 minutes. That's 666 missions, or 222 hours of playtime, for one single trophy. You also have to build up 500,000 structures, kill 20,000 mist monsters, and fully explore 1,500 zones. All tasks that, like Guardian Angel, will take you hundreds of hours to complete. That's the next year of your life booked, at least. If you have the constitution to put yourself through such a grind, then we tip our hat to you, good sir. But eating, sleeping, and breathing Fortnite for over a dozen months on end doesn't really sound like an enjoyable time from our point of view. Number 3, Crypt of the NECRODANCER. CRYPT of the NECRODANCER is a truly creative and refreshing experience. It's also a bloody difficult one too, with its unique approach to traditional roguelike gameplay, namely that you can only make your character move or attack if you perform those actions in time with the music, creating a high skill barrier that will turn a lot of gamers off within the first few levels. And unfortunately, the rest of the game isn't much easier. This is why you won't 100% it. This is one of those rare examples where simply just beating the game is an arduous quest in its own right, and that isn't even the hardest thing about 100%. For instance, look at what you have to do to unlock Coda, one of the game's playable characters. She will be awarded to you upon clearing an all chars run, where you have to beat the game with all 9 characters in a row, without dying. Yeah. Another task on the road to 100% completion is to actually clear the game while playing as Coda, a challenge that is so mind-meltingly tough that it even comes paired with its own trophy called Impossible, right? We'll let developer Ryan Clark explain why that name is fitting. You die if you miss any beat. You die if you touch any gold. Gold is dropped by every enemy. You die if you get hit at all. You are struck with the most basic weapon in the game, and the entire game runs at double the usual speed. Oh, and there's also a trophy for finishing an all-cars run without picking up any items or using any shrines. So basically, you can't heal yourself, upgrade your weapons, or decrease incoming damage. And because CRYPT of the NECRODANCER is a rhythm game, you have to be fully alert and paying attention at all times, which only adds to the difficulty and stress. Number 2, Gears of War 3. Getting 100% in Gears of War 3 is a tale of two halves. On one hand, finishing off its single-player campaign is a relatively simple task, even on higher difficulties. But then there's the multiplayer, or more specifically, the Seriously 3.0 achievement, which asks for an unprecedented amount of commitment to the game's online suite. This is why you won't 100% it. Seriously, 3.0. To unlock it, you need to earn 65 of the game's Onyx medals, and it's hard to put into words just how laborious a task this is. Each medal comes in tiers, with bronze at the bottom and Onyx at the top. For example, play 100 matches for a bronze medal and 4,000 for an Onyx. Now yes, playing matches is easy, but some of the other Onyx medals can only be unlocked with such skill, time and luck that you'd probably be considered fortunate to obtain Seriously 3.0 after 1,000 hours of playing. You have to win 3,000 matches, get 4,000 headshots, perform 6,000 executions, revive 1,200 squad mates, capture 500 enemy leaders, and then execute an enemy who has killed you 5 times in a row, 100 times. The servers are still online, so you can give this one a go if you like. Just don't hold us responsible for the severe mental trauma that you will experience. Number 1, World of Warcraft. Blizzard's enormous MMORPG is over 15 years old at this point. It's a game that many hardcore grinders around the world dedicate all their free time to. And because it's such a life-consuming experience, the simple fact that there are only 24 hours in a day will stop most people from ever achieving 100%. So this is why you will never 100% it. Check this out. In 2018, a player by the name of Zerev managed to complete the game's 3,314 achievements, a mission that took him 6 bloody years to accomplish, or around 900 days of actual game time. Now, bear in mind that achievements are just one of the things that you can do in World of Warcraft. There's a high level cap to hit, countless quests, pet battles, raids, professions, and a PvP element for those who want to dabble in it. And that's without even mentioning that content is continuously being added. Even just finishing all of those achievements will be impossible for most players, and on the whole, it's far more likely that humanity will be living on Mars before you get around to 100% completing the entire game. And there we go. Got any other ideas that you just don't have the time, skill, or patience to 100% complete? By all means, complain about them in the comments section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and something that you probably can 100% complete is clicking that subscribe button, so do that now. But for now, I have been Kirsten Ria from WhatCulture Gaming, and I will see you in the next video.